Welcome back to Gem in the Crypto, episode 1061. Today is Wednesday, February 1st, 2023, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community, Monday through Friday at 10ish.
At 10ish, in today's top stories, Celsius publishes list of users eligible to withdraw majority of assets. Tether CTO denies borrowing from bankrupt lender Celsius. Founder of $7.5 million brazen fund scheme get 8 years behind bars. Trevon Martin versus Richard Hart is all in the news as they're starting to question the Hexicans and what's going on there. Gangsters, cats, and Bitcoin. 9-year-old Henry takes Bitcoin to the classroom, and top 9 cyberpunk movies of all time. And first and foremost, Bitcoin's what's going on with those prices?
Oh yeah, and just remind us, it's Trevon James, not Trevon Martin. But
did I say Trevon Martin?
Yeah.
Who is that? That's a real name. Who name is that?
Yeah. That was the with what's his name? With the police shooting from back in the day.
Oh yeah, Trevon James. Okay, yeah, you're right. That's
Trevon James. All good. It just caught me off guard when you said it. But our prices for today, Bitcoin is at $23,063, down 0.2%. Ethereum at $1,579, down 0.3%. Binance Coin at $309, down 0.8% today. XRP sitting at 40 cents is down 0.01% today. Cardano sitting at 38 cents is down 0.53%. Dogecoin sitting at 9 cents today is down 2.1%. And rounding out our top 10 is Polygon sitting at $1.09, down 1.1%. And our trending coins for today are Aptos, Bitcoin, and Polygon, some familiar ones there. And for the DJs that want to dumpster dive and want to gamble a little bit, Wolfwork.io, Shiba Nodes, and Weifu. All right, so at this point, I don't even think they're trying anymore with these names. They got to be putting in a prompt into ChatGPT, like, what's a crypto name that'll catch everybody's attention that doesn't make any sense? Weifu, and then they just run with it. That's who gives a shit, right? They probably build it on Binance Chain.
There it is. Quick shout outs. Just inform you, Les Square, Rashu, Bitcoin Madam, Kadeem, Crazy BX Don, JB, Wisdom Bars, OMAC, Enzo Carter, Bird Time Music Group. Good morning, Metaverse. The Metaverse president is here as well. Oh, I like that. Hey, go. That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead and start staking claim to Metaverse. I'm the president of the Metaverse. I'm the regional mayor of the Louis Vuitton Gucci corner of the Decentraland. That's what I'm talking about. Laid claim to it early. Top story of the day, we got to talk more about Celsius. Slow news cycle, people. I mean, honestly, as we said, you come off of January, this literally hasn't changed every year. When the regulators come back, it's literally slow news because all we're doing for the first month or two is regulation. Then conferences start to come around March and April. We get a little heated up as far as news and excitement. We get a little bland at the first part of summer, then we get a summer pump, and then either it's a year-long bear or bull market, or we go into that bear market usually by the end of the summertime. Every couple of years, we figure out which is which. But top stories of the day, again, Celsius has published list of users eligible to withdraw majority of assets. But that's not what's important about the story. Actually, the subtitle is the actual headline. Eligible creditors will not be able to withdraw their funds from Celsius unless they update their accounts with AML and KYC data. Now, this is a problem, people. We've said this many times. This is how exchanges keep your crypto, especially if you're using a VPN or if you have not done AML and KYC, or if you've signed up in another country that the United States restricts. Essentially, what they do to keep your crypto, to keep your Bitcoin, and like this isn't just Celsius. I think Binance has done this. A ton of companies and platforms and exchanges has done it. But whenever they're looking to keep your crypto, they'll literally just insert, oh, you need to do AML KYC. Well, you didn't need to do that to put your capital on the platform, but they're making you do that to take the capital off the platform. And oftentimes, this is how literally millions of dollars in crypto gets left on a platform because everybody's like, well, shit, I can't even, like, even if you do AML KYC, if Celsius says, well, the United States isn't working with your country, they do not have to give your money back, and they won't. So to me, this was the story right here. I don't care who's on that list of eligible users and who can withdraw the majority of your assets. Even whether you're not doing anything illegal or whatever, if you just don't want your information on a platform that's went bankrupt and who knows what type of hacks it may have incurred since then they're literally putting you at risk for it. But it's crazy to see a dirty game in the crypto space, and this is how they keep customer assets. What else is going on with this story?
Flow Rider, where you at when we need you, man?
Right, for real.
I wish he sued this Celsius for 82 million. But again, bankrupt cryptocurrency lending firm Celsius had to come up with withdrawal process for users who had their crypto in custody when it stopped withdrawals in June of 2022. And the firm laid out the process in a 1,411 page court filing with the United States Bankruptcy Court for the Southern District of New York. The Southern District of New York, they got to be tired of seeing all these crypto cases. I mean, good gracious. But they list the full names of the eligible users alongside the type and amount of debted crypto assets. So I want to slide down a little bit more. But the AML KYC, that is the beginning of the terribleness of this being processed because the filing also notes that it's not yet known whether eligible users will be able to withdraw the remaining 6% of the assets as the court will make a decision regarding this question at a later date. And that 6% number comes from that they will be able to access 94% of qualified custody assets. So you get 94% of what you took out, last 6%, you probably have to eat that. But that's the crypto world. It's so much crypto left on exchanges and things like this. People don't realize how scarce Bitcoin really is. Because we got Bitcoin that's lost. We already got 19 million mined. And then you got all these exchanges where, I mean, I even know myself, me and King probably got dozens of exchanges with, $20 here,
yeah.
30 bucks.
I always tell people that. I was like,
bro, I went on one exchange that I haven't been on since 2018. I went on there and it was like $70 worth of Bitcoin on there. Back then it was like $5 worth, but whatever. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like now times that by 10,000, 20,000 people, you know what I mean? Like it starts to add up. So things like this, the KYC AML is egregious. You only get 94%. I mean, which isn't too bad, but at the same time, the bigger picture is this is actually bullish because this makes it more and more scarce for people to get Bitcoin as these centralized exchanges start to try and distribute due to bankruptcy.
Well, and to add on to that as well, this is just as egregious. It says eligible users will also receive specific details related to gas and transaction fees associated with the upcoming withdrawal procedures. Eligible users who do not have sufficient assets in their account to satisfy these fees will not be permitted to withdraw their assets. Now, normally I would take this from a straight analytical approach. But since they said what they said, the way they said, you know what I'm grabbing? Listen, tinfoil hat. People, here it's time for the tinfoil hat. Here it is. All right, here it is. Let's go back to it.
Let me grab my tinfoil.
Go grab the tinfoil because listen, people need to understand what this really means right here. They said eligible users who do not have sufficient assets in their accounts to satisfy these fees. Now, Zay, I want to point this out because they're not saying you can go add it or do it. No. They're saying if you don't have the sufficient assets, you can't withdraw. If they're trying to get people to keep their crypto on there, which they already are, then all you literally have to do is say, hey, if you don't have that gas fee, you can't withdraw any ERC20. You can't withdraw any Ethereum assets. Well, yeah. I can put some gas in there. I can put some money for some Ethereum fee. Oh, we're not accepting money. We're not accepting anymore. We're not accepting capital. So either you have your oh shit. You put a bunch of money into a ERC20 token, but you didn't leave none in Ethereum for a gas fee?
Oh, man, can't help you there.
Sounds like Celsius gets to keep it. Like, it literally sounds like they're right. Bro, they're writing that up. To me, the way that's written up is saying that if you, like, people understand this, they are no longer accepting capital. They're bankrupt. They're done. It's out in open, right? At first they were. If you remember, when they first, the signs were first bellying up, they stopped withdrawals, but they kept accepting money and kept marking up, as most companies do. It's just, to me, it's fraudulent in itself. But they're not accepting any more capital right now. So the way your account, if it's set up where you have, for example, Bitcoin would be fine, but let's just say an ERC20 and an Ethereum, you have over 50, 100K and some token, but you literally only have like maybe $3 or $2 of whatever the gas was left. In Ethereum from that transaction, wherever your Ethereum amount, you only have $2 or $3 left of that, and that's not enough to get that ERC20 token back to Ethereum on your account. They are literally, the way the writing says, it's saying that, hey, you lost it. That's gone. But let's say, let's say that's not even true. Let's just say they're not being that egregious, but I'm pretty sure they are. But let's just say they're not being that egregious and they're just doing it on a small level. So what? Like Bitcoin just said, Imagine if every person who doesn't have enough gas to get out $5 to $10 or $20 worth of assets, you multiply that by 20,000 to 50,000 different accounts, and we have something here. We have a pot of money that we can do what we need to do for creditors, auditors, or give back to whoever we want. But by and large, they're just trying to keep your crypto. Let's call it a spade a spade. They're keeping your crypto right now. This is terrible. One other company that actually spoke out against some, I guess, these names that were being published was Tether. Tether popped up in this list of Celsius, I guess, people they owed or whatever. Tether CTO denies borrowing from bankrupt lender Celsius. What's going on with the Tether CTO, and how did their name get mixed up in this?
Oh, yeah. So Celsius bankruptcy report by court-appointed examiner Shoba Pillay. That's a hell of a name. Shoba either has a typo or mischaracterization. I mean, a typo, really. That's amazing. So according to his chief technology officer, the company behind Tether, the world's largest stablecoin, has never received any loan from the bankrupt cryptocurrency lender Celsius. Paolo Ardonio, the chief technology officer at Tether Bitfinex crypto exchange, announced that they have never borrowed from Celsius, and it came in response to the Celsius bankruptcy examiner report, which allegedly mistakenly implied that Tether was among Celsius borrowers, alongside firms like Theros Capital, which borrowed $75 million from the firm. The report notes that Tether's exposure eventually grew to over $2 billion. That is a hell of a typo.
Yeah, I was just about, bro. I literally was gonna say the same word. Come on, that's a typo.
Did you actually fall asleep on the zeros, and it just went all the way across?
Or a mischaracterization, as they're saying. That's a big mischaracterization. It wasn't $2 billion. It was $1.99987 billion, actually.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man, get out of here. But yeah, they denied any exposure, and excuse me. And of course, this is crazy because, again, I just don't see how you can have a mischaracterization or a mistake that big. He suggested that the examiner mixed up prepositions in the examiner report, actually meaning Celsius loans from Tether instead of Celsius loans to Tether. So we don't owe you $2 billion. You owe us $2 billion. Like, you know how funny it would be to send somebody an invoice and they send your invoice right back. Like,
right.
Like, what, nigga, you owe me. This is the actual report that we are pulling up here, and it is hilarious that this was messed up in the report, but it could have just been oversight. However, if it is, I used to work in a law firm. Fire your paralegal, because I used to work with lawyers when I was doing IT, and they would yell from the office, "Hey, Alice, get in here!" if they messed up on something, on some court document, because this makes the lawyer actually look dumb, and the prosecution look like they're not up to speed. So fire your paralegal, and they should be all good.
It sounds like they didn't need to fire all of Celsius. When asked by Mr. Holert and others were unable to explain why Celsius did not enforce the credit limits. People, they was getting their lunch money took. Straight up. Mr. Holert also recommended that Celsius develop written policies and procedures to govern risk management, which he offered to draft. But Mr. Leon directed Mr. Holert to stand down and said someone else would draft the policy. But nothing was drafted until prep for the Financial Conduct Authority registration in the UK at the end of 2020, which caused Celsius senior management to revisit the decision. A couple things, people. Celsius at the Bitcoin conference last year had literally one of the largest booths. To see them go bankrupt about 3 to 6 months after that booth says a lot. Like, literally, they took up real estate, all this space in Bitcoin conference, being choosy about who they wanted to work with, blah, 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 new kid on the block. Well, here's the thing, new kid on the block for crypto companies. The old companies see you as fresh meat. Roger Ver owning companies 40, 20, 30 million here. That's just him. It looks like, going back to this article, it looks like the 3 Arrow Capitals were in on it. The Tethers were in on it. The Sam Bankman-Frieds. They saw a new crypto company try to wave his flag that we got all this money from lending. We want to do partnerships. But once again, this goes back to the beginning of the market and people in the market not knowing what they're doing. Celsius and these other people had a great idea. One thing they didn't consider is what would happen in the bear market to their lending program, something that we have often said would be an issue. Now, if you move forward with this lending and whatever else you're doing, and you have your blinders on to the perils of the market, I'm not honestly mad when other crypto companies that are better than you, who have been around longer, actually understand the market and see you all possibly going out of business using this as a competitive play. Because to me, if I own one of these companies, speaking of FTX Alameda and Sam Bankman-Fried, they were trying to do something similar to lending. So yeah, I'll take a big loan out of like if your first week in business, you give me a huge loan and you don't even realize you're my competitor. You have literally given me the keys to your kingdom, and kind of like what Binance did, they can like literally open the floodgates at any time and let the fucking I guess the rival armies come to destroy your everything you got going on. That's essentially what happened with SBF. So Tether or Celsius, if I would have known that all those people borrowed that amount of money, I would have called them dead a long time ago. Like why would they pay it back? Who are you? Who are you to pay it back? Another lending company in crypto? Go to court. See how much of the $2 billion you get back. Like, what are you talking about?
Exactly. We'll tie you up in litigation until your grandkids come. Like,
so it makes sense. So for Celsius, this was just bad business moves.
Oh yeah, and to put the final nail in the coffin, today is the first day of Black History Month. So the fact that Alex Mashinsky lied about creating voice over IP when it was actually created by a Black woman named Mariah Croker, I believe her name was. That's the final nail in the coffin. Your CEO was lying about inventing voice over IP. Hold on, let me pull it up right here.
I'm pulling it up now. When did he lie? I know he lied about it.
Man, he's been saying, he had it on his profile forever. He said it in a bunch of interviews that he was the creator of voice over IP, when in reality, it was Marianne Croker, the Black woman who created voice over IP, this technology behind Skype, Zoom, and more. So the technology we're using right now to do this show came from a Black woman. Your CEO Celsius stole it or said that he invented it. So that's just the final nail in the coffin. So you can't trust anything going over there at Celsius. Just terrible all around.
I didn't even know he did that. He over here stealing inventions. Like, we don't got Google.
You know, I keep receipts. Hey, I don't forget anything. I write down mostly everything. Just random stuff. I got notebooks full of random stuff. I don't forget anything.
Well, I would say it's I don't like on the surface. I would say I don't see it happen. Someone like literally like, could you imagine? If I came on and was like, "Yo, I invented the internet," and people believe me. I would say I don't believe that type of stuff in this market. But our next story we have to cover it covers one of some of you all favorite project out there. We have to talk about it. You all wanted to talk about it for months now, at least a year, at least a full year. You all have wanted to talk about it, and we said, "Hey, we don't cover specific projects and stuff on the live show, which we normally don't, but we'll talk about it." Fine. You all came on our show and said, "Hey, sacrifice, donate, give away your capital to a PulseX project or Pulse something project with Richard Hart." And if I remember correctly, about $500 million were sacrificed to this project about, let's say 8 months ago. And nothing has come of it yet at all. Nothing but shopping sprees on Instagram and TikTok from what I've seen from the person the money was donated to. Now, I'm saying all that to say it looks like another person who has an expertise and a history of these type of issues, of course, none other than infamous Trevon James, of course, with the BitConnect. He was one of the biggest promoters for that. If you're like, wait, BitConnect, what is that? This is BitConnect.
What's BitConnect?
And this is Trevon James after BitConnect crash.
Everyone, listen up. You didn't lose your money. Now, you have your... Technically, you kind of lost your money.
All right, but now they're both back in the news again. Some type of online Twitter battle is ensuing. What's happening here? Why is Trevon calling out the Hexican community? What's going on here?
Oh, well, it seems as though there's some sort of Hex civil war going on, or some people who are supporting the project Zen, XEN. Of course, whatever Trevon James is involved, you know it's going to be entertaining. So I'll let the video play and let it speak for itself.
Is this the video here?
Critical, dipshit, douchebag, all that, man. I'm fed up with this. I came all the way up here to make this, bro. I wasn't even going to do a video today, but this right here has triggered me to the utmost. So I just did this tweet, been begging for a Jack and Richard Hart debate. I want to see Richard Hart destroy Jack. So
hey, to be honest, to keep it fair, we've been saying this for a while too. You all claim he's your fearless leader, and he's the smartest and best, brightest person in crypto. And I will say Richard Hart has been around crypto, so he's knowledgeable for sure. But yeah, it's time for him to debate an OG. Listen, you ain't gonna keep ducking phase, dog, talking crazy. Like, you can't keep talking crazy and ducking phase. If you like, take the debate. Yeah, we are literally, this is what I'm talking about. This is the problem with the American government and many other governments too. blah, 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 blah. You want to talk all day and politic and da, da, da. When people ask you simple fucking questions, oh, I can't answer right now. Oh, let me send you to a different department. Oh, let me send you here. Oh, I got to walk away. I'm running in the hallways. We literally in America have politicians running through public hallways when news crews literally follow them, asking them questions. That should be an automatic, you're getting fired from your job. But now we literally in the crypto space has someone in charge of a multi-billion-dollar project who just received literally $500 million in donations. And by the way, you can call that what you want. If gang find out, they don't care what you call it. They're going to one end. I'm telling you that now. If gang finds out y'all donated $500 million to a crypto project and they didn't even get you know how it go.
From here on, nothing goes down unless I'm involved. No blackjack, no dope deals, no nothing. A nickel bag gets sold in the park. I want in.
If a nickel bag, but you think donating $500 million won't ever raise an alarm? No, they're waiting to see the project completion too, so they can come get their money. But by and large, again, this is what's going on. Let's keep playing this, see what's going on. Zay, I can hear you, Zay. That sounds terrible.
Was here to die for research.
I want to see Richard Hart destroy Jack. So I posted this right here.
I am the guy funding medical research. And who are these fools?
Y'all remember this?
That lead their followers to doom. Bring your heroes here to die. Bring your followers here to thrive.
Right.
My man did just say he's leading medical research by this is the goofy shit, Richard. Come on now, but I'm not mad at you. It's marketing.
Okay, so here's a hero. Here's one of my heroes right here, Richard. This is Jack Levin, first Google architect, back-end architect. Can you please destroy this guy for me, please? I'm begging you. So everyone's in the comments saying dumb shit like, I like you, I like Rich Hart, and I like Jack, but what would they debate? If Zen is a scam, if Hex is a scam, why isn't PulseChain out? They can talk about all that stuff we've been talking about. Why would Richard Hart even do that? The only value would be for you views and for Jack Levin for the legitimacy. Okay, so let's talk about this then. Why is this nigga on a chat, on a stream with a dude promoting his coin, his scam? Richard Hart literally sitting there on this channel with 800 subscribers, giving this guy views that we never even heard of this guy. And he's sitting here letting him shill his coin to him with Richard Hart on the screen.
That's good shit. At least.
And again, yeah, that's like your point about us.
Box. And if they did, no one would know the difference between a man in the middle attack.
Connect, and I say, a MetaMask.
You want to know how many times?
Is this still goes? Should we keep rolling or what?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more at the end, but I think everybody gets the point. I mean, that was the basis of the argument. He was shilling or letting some guy shill his coin. 800 people on his channel. Imagine that, an 800 person channel being able to shill their project, which I'm sure he got some money off of it. So I think that's what Trevon was mad about. To me, this is just classic crypto fights, and this is one of the things we like in this industry is good debates. And of course, we've been calling for a Richard Hart and Reggie Middleton debate for a long time.
Yeah, I want to see Richard and Reggie go.
Yeah, or if somebody else from Hex wants to come and debate somebody who's against Hex, I would love to see it. I told you I don't really debate crypto anymore. I'm going against like CBDCs, regulators, people. But as far as crypto infighting, it's always fun. We've had a bunch of FBF moments here. It'll be great to see how people view it, and we can pay-per-view that because I think a lot of people want some insight into what is actually going on. And where's James at?
Somebody's asking. Let's see. Grit Gain said the stream he's talking about was not on Richard's channel. This is an old stream. All right, that's what he said. He said it was on the 800 person channel. Let's see. Is Richard Hart the next Bill Gates? Said somebody. Let's see what else we had. Let's see. Can't keep ducking the fades. Go. Oh, yes. Okay. Apple Podcasts will be updated by tomorrow, people. We apologize. Yeah. Richard has talked to Jack in an interview before. There's more to the story behind Trevon's anger with Richard. But if you're not community, you don't notice. Hey, let us know, Grit. What is it? Does Trevon got a bag? Hey, does Trevon got a Hex bag?
I think he got a Zen bag, and that's why he's saying why you're not mentioning Zen, but you're mentioning this other project. You should be pushing that. So I mean, I don't know, maybe, but either way, Trayvon's always entertaining.
Oh, man, I just missed it. Sergeant Crypto, thanks for the tip. He said Mishinsky from Celsius also claimed that he was the one to start cell phone service in New York City subways. That is hilarious. I didn't know that. Is now global. Thank you for the tip. Say he's trying to reach out to you. Bitcoin Zay is now global, so make sure you check him out. There we go.
Yeah. I got to get you my new number, Chuck.
All right. A. Ryan, thank you for the tip. Thank you for the tip, A. Ryan. Prince of Post. There we go. Prince of PulseChain said, I'm one of them, LOL. Prince of Post, we would love to hear your thoughts. Do you still believe in this sacrifice? Is it going to come to fruition? I think it actually will come to fruition for people who sacrifice. Let me tell you when, why, and how. It will come into fruition in late 24, not 25, once the price of Bitcoin has reached $100,000 and Richard's pumping like stupid. Then he's going to give you your money back. And you'll be like, I told y'all. And it's going to be like, yes and no. The yes is like, yes, this percentage point did happen. But the no is because every other token went up just as much and not more in the same time period. And technically, everyone looks like a genius at that same time. So, yeah, I do think you all will eventually get your money, but it's going to be after Richard gets another 3 to 4 times pump in either Hex or Bitcoin. You are not getting that money when the market's down. So we know PulseChains are coming anytime soon. I have to give another 6 months at least. Low end. All right. Just want to cover this real quick. Founder of a $7.5 million brazen fraud scheme gets 8 years behind bars. I mean, I'm going to read through this and it should be pretty obvious why this was a story for us today. Really quick. Randall Crater was ordered to pay back the millions lost by victims of his fraudulent crypto scheme and spend 100 months in jail, followed by a 3-year supervised release. Founder of My Bitcoin, Randall Crater has been sentenced to 100 months in prison in order to pay over $7.6 million to the victims of his fraudulent scheme. The U.S. Department of Justice said on January 31st that Crater was sentenced by the United States District Court Judge Denise Caper in Massachusetts. Sentence comes after Crater was convicted by the federal jury on July 21st on 4 counts of wire fraud, 3 counts of unlawful monetary transactions, and 1 count of operating an unlicensed money transmitting business. Here's the FBI Boston speaking out again 2 weeks after Martin Luther King Day. We don't miss people. Like, again, this happened July. The sentence, or he was convicted on July 21st. These motherfuckers literally waited until after Martin Luther King Day to give us all this at one. My Bitcoin was founded by Crater in 2013, falsely marketed as a cryptocurrency payment service, luring victims between 2014 and 2017. So as you can tell, this is old. Advertised as a crypto exchange where the coins will be swapped for US dollars and other cryptocurrencies. He said he had to deal with MasterCard again. Like, we'll talk about it in a second. He said he had to deal with MasterCard. He was going to exchange for other cryptocurrencies and dollars. But at the end of the day, he used it on himself, buying houses, cars, $1 million of antiques, artwork, and jewelry, blah, 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 blah. The point here is that they're calling this person a fraud. They said he's put real trauma, pain, and hardship on the lives of 55 individual victims and families. And again, he had to pay back $7.6 million and do 100 months in prison. I say to you, how is a person who did about $8 million max in fraud, who has 55 victims, what else? Who said he was going to use it for one thing and use it for another, bought it, a bunch of items with it, and then claimed he was going to do a MasterCard partnership, gets this amount of time, and literally we're looking at the Monacos of the world, which are now Crypto.com that said they were going to give everybody a Visa card. We're looking at SBF, who may actually get out of this whole thing, who has done over $50 billion in fraud. This guy has $7.5 million in fraud from years ago, and he's getting 8 years. I mean, literally the list can go on and on from different crypto companies that are getting fucking passes right now. And you have the small time people who, as they said before the show, he made enough, but not enough for no lawyers. This guy just made only enough, I guess, to buy him some stuff, but he didn't make enough for the lawyers. But to me, this is crazy. You're talking about $8 million, which if I was a victim, I would want full justice. But it's a drop in the bucket when you're considering the Celsius, the Terra Lunas, the SB. Like Celsius right now, they're talking about AML and KYC. Why is no one in prison? Why is no one? No one's in prison for Celsius. They said we were going to take your money and use it for this lending program to do XYZ. We are looking at court documents today saying, no, we gave $2 billion to Tether. We gave $1 billion to SBF. We gave $1 billion over. Why aren't you in prison then? How is this? I'm not understanding how this system works. I'm assuming the number that we've been looking for, the magic number, is about 20 to 25 million. We thought it was a few mil, but I think Reggie hit about 13 million. So sorry, Reggie, 13 to 15 million is too low. I think the number we're looking for is about 20 to 25 to $30 million. At that point, you can break laws and not go to prison for financial crimes. I think that's a wrap, people. It's not a fact. You all let me know your number in the comments. What say you, Bitcoin Zay?
Hey, go big or go home. If you're gonna do stuff like this, you need to go for the billions because whenever the hammer comes down, usually it's too big to fail at that point, or too big to take down for crimes, because then they can just extort you and take money. It's like, why would we put you in jail? We just take $100 million.
We want you to keep earning, boy.
Yeah, exactly. And then the lower people who make these smaller amounts, they get the real jail time and whatnot because they don't have the connections, they don't have the political push or the network to get something like that done. Bad that it happened, but you also got to look at the date. Did you notice it, King? This was 2014 to 2017.
I can't believe that went that far back.
It's been 6 years. They're backtracking to ICO days. That's why I tell people, I was like, the reason I was so adamant about ICOs and about doing all whatever stuff people were trying to ask us is because they have an infinite timeline. The actual corporation or regulators, they don't have a time that they have to do it. They have to do it right there. They could come 10 years, 20 years later. So that's the thing with some of these people getting exposed. But it also shows they're very slow. It took 6 years to get this conviction. I mean, this is how regulation goes at the state level.
All right, last couple quick stories. Gangsters, cats, and Bitcoin. 9-year-old Henry takes Bitcoin to the classroom. What's this about, Bitcoin Zay?
Oh, yeah. So everyone knows my huge love for teaching kids about Bitcoin because they are the future and adults suck sometimes. But Gangsters, Cats, and Bitcoin, 9-year-old Henry takes Bitcoin to the classroom. He's being touted as a 9-year-old Andreas Antonopoulos in the making. A 9-year-old in the UK tried to orange pill his classroom. He showed that Bitcoin is for everyone and Bitcoin education is for all ages. And he gave a talk to his classmates in an engaging and funny presentation. And of course, Cointelegraph spoke to Henry's mother, an author and Bitcoin advocate who goes by Decentrasues on social media to find out more. I'm not saying he's not smart, but I'm pretty sure his parents wrote that entire presentation, just like all good parents do. If you're a good parent, do your kids' homework. Let them get A's because it don't really matter. They'll learn it on the back end. But this is great to see orange pill in the younger class or younger students, I should say. And of course, this quote here, Henry is surrounded by Bitcoin. His father and I talk about it all the time. There are always Bitcoin podcasts on in the background. And Henry often asks questions like, how does Bitcoin go up and down? And as a parent, as somebody who reads Goodnight Bitcoin to my daughter as many nights as I can, as well as starting a Bitcoin after school and a Bitcoin summer camp, I'm telling you, it's much better rate of return teaching kids because they get it right off the bat versus adults where you got to convince them basically that you
got to teach them the monetary system. All right, here we go. So you know how the dollar works. Yeah. All right, here we go. All right. So when the last time the Federal Reserve got audited? What's the audit for a Federal Reserve? All right. So like I said, so Bitcoin.
Adults, I mean, as a macro, people don't do stuff until they actually need it. So even on a micro level, when do you start doing stuff when you actually need it? So most adults are not going to do it. Kids are open to whatever. So shout out to this kid in the UK and his parents for orange pilling them. All the Bitcoin parents, make sure you orange pill your kids. Send them some sats for allowance and do some presentations for them so they can orange pill the kids at the local school.
There it is. My Crypto Space UK. Thank you for the tip. Much appreciated. Shout out to the UK. We got a lot of folks out there we deal with as well. Hey, Reggie, there we go. Reggie Middleton said, didn't they hit Arthur BitMEX for no AML, but Celsius gets to skate despite the fact that they lost hundreds. Woo! That's a great. Oh, thank you, Reggie. Where's this comment at? Let me see if I can. That's a great point. It might be too far earlier. Reggie said, Reggie Middleton, didn't they hit Arthur of BitMEX for no AML, but Celsius gets to skate despite the fact they lost hundreds of millions and Arthur lost nothing. Black History Month. So those who don't know Arthur from BitMEX, yes, he's right. He got in trouble for not having the AML and KYC back in 2014 or 2015 as well. And Reggie is right. And this is my point, too, the guy we just talked about, people, $7.5 million at 100 months in prison. But you literally have Celsius, the SBFs of the world who are not getting any jail time. Let's not even talk about the traditional market itself. So, yeah, that's definitely crazy as well. All right, last story, but definitely not least, want to go over the quick top 9 cyberpunk movies of all time, at least according to Cointelegraph. I think there's a few more. You've all told us some names before, but really quick as we're running out of time. Cyberpunk movies feature advanced technology such as computers and the internet in a dystopian future setting. So here are some good movies for the week. Let's see which ones took the top. And again, this is from sci-fi that emerged in the 1980s. Of course, talking about this dystopian futures, oftentimes being in the year 2020, 2025, and here we are. They talk about AI, virtual reality, all the digital stuff that we love. So here are the top 9. One of the first was Blade Runner. The old one was the real one. I like the new one too. The new one's really good as well. Did you ever see that?
Nah, I haven't seen the new one. I saw the old one back in the day. Yeah.
Blade Runner was good. I love the music. It's like it got the like Brian low-key got like the sound, the playlist on my computer. I listen to it when I type. Yeah. It's like a deep techno, like doom 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 doom. You know, it's like going through the city streets or whatever. Yeah, yes. So Blade Runner one is Matrix. All right, Matrix is good.
Oh yeah, this is the best one of all time. It's like the Godfather of dystopian movies, and it's pretty true. I mean, everything in there you can probably relate it to the red pill, blue pill, all that stuff now.
And I mean, really, does Keanu Reeves miss? Goodness gracious, my boy is everywhere. Akira, did you see Akira? Nah. Neo Tokyo. Ooh, I'm gonna have to see this. 1988. Oh, it's an anime film. Okay. You know, I think I've actually heard of it before. I haven't seen it, but I think I've heard of it. If you've seen Akira, let us know. Ghost in the Shell, I did not realize was this old, but yes, Ghost in the Shell is an oldie but goodie. I personally love this one. I didn't get to follow the storyline all the way through, but I used to kind of bounce around episodes. But I love Ghost in the Shell because it was like everything digital plus gun. So I was like, oh, you got me. Take all my time and attention. You got me, buddy. But yeah, for those who know Ghost in the Shell, that's super popular. Neuromancer, never heard of that one. What about you?
No, I never heard of that one. Might check that one out. Seems pretty cool.
I will say if it was published in 1984, it probably is one of the most famous and influential books in the cyber genre, as it says. Because if you remember, folks, what else was published that year? None other than, well, actually, I don't think it was published that year, but 1984, the book itself. So
it was published way back. Yeah.
Right. I was saying it wasn't actually published that year. I thought about it, but I just like the significance of the year. Did Terminator come out in 1984?
Man, we
owe.
We owe, man. Because I swear I remember watching Terminator when I was young, and Terminator 2. I remember going to Disney World to see Terminator 2 in 3D.
Oh my goodness!
When his hand came out, it came into your face, and everybody was jumping back. That was when 3D glasses first came out. I was like 7 or 8. I still remember Terminator 2. So yeah, Terminator. Yeah, we old, bro.
Yeah, Terminator's a deal. Vil Spliff, I agree. I didn't even want to say anything about it. I was being polite. Yeah, the recreation of Ghost in the Shell with Scarlett Johansson, not it. I get it, and I've seen I guess I've seen some behind the scenes from her personality, so it seems like she would like that type of stuff, and I get it. So I'm not blaming her, but it just wasn't it. It wasn't what I was expecting for sure. All right, what else we have really quick? RoboCop, 1987. We are old. RoboCop was the real deal. I think RoboCop's going to be the future. In fact, here's my prediction right here, really quick, people. This is when we'll actually reach equality for humans across the board. It's when we actually involve robotics and AI to the extent of something like iRobot and Terminator. And the reason why is because once that happens, it won't matter if you're a woman, man, gay, straight, tall, short, ugly, fat, 15, 30, 60, 100. Whoever has the robots, they're going to run shit, people. I'm telling you, remember you heard it for now, or you heard that first now, is going to change. When people first it's going to be at-home robots, just cleaning, simple stuff. Then it's going to be like, you can have them walk your dog. Next thing you know, you just have your personal security robot. Next thing you know, it don't matter who that human is. If they tell you what they want and their robot's next to them, you're going to fucking get the business.
Hey, so that's something crazy? This wasn't a dystopian movie, but remember Rocky when he had a robot in his crib in the 80s? That's the thing. Looking at all these movies from the 80s, we always say
they're trying to show you.
It takes 20, 30 years for it to be developed, but they show you early. I mean, all the movies in the 80s about dystopian futures, that's not a mistake.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think that's what's going to initially bring equality to everyone will be technology and robots. Because literally the only thing you need to use is a brain. But yeah, RoboCop was huge. I do think we'll get crime fighting robots, and of course, It took place in Detroit. That's hilarious. It was shitting on us back then, bro. They just don't stop. All right. They was like, look, there's going to be a city that exists now where we need a fucking army of robo-cops to control. And that city is Detroit, Michigan.
Yeah, they were like, hey, what's a city that looks sad and has a lot of houses we can blow up? Nobody's going to notice. Detroit.
For real, for real. Tron is on here. Tron from A2. Tron was really good as well. Of course, Tron has been renamed to a crypto company. The gladiatorial games in order to escape the digital world. This was another one. Tron actually reminded me a lot of what was the first one on here? Blade Runner. Blade Runner and Tron to me are very similar. Yeah. Total Recall. I kind of remember this, but not really. Do you remember this?
I don't remember. I remember watching it when I was younger, but I don't remember anything.
Right.
I just know it was Arnold Schwarzenegger, and my dad used to have all the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies from back in the day. So I watched them all, but I can't recall most of them. I do remember Eraser. I remember Eraser though. Eraser was dope.
Somebody said Tron from Chappelle's Show need a movie. Smell like broken here to me, baby. All right. Other than that is a show. Really quick, did you have any last minute movies people should check out?
As far as dystopian futures, not that I know of, but I would say go back and watch some of those movies, see how similar they are, and we get to live during that time when it came out. As a kid, we always thought one day it'll come. Today's that day.
Hey, you know what? I'll throw one on there. It's not an oldie, super old. Now it's getting old, but iRobot, as I just mentioned, people, I think iRobot is a small taste of what could possibly be once, and not the evil part. I don't think it'll be like a whole army of evil robot. Like, to me, that's getting too much. It's like, you crazy. Humans kill everything. Y'all crazy. You think we don't have no kill switches on robots left and right? Like, humans kill everything. We're not about to invent robots that nobody can kill. Okay, it ain't happening. I don't see it happening. But if you have any more movies, to go ahead and throw them in the comment section. Let people know. Somebody said Ice Cube, Sci-Fi Flick should be on there in preseason 14 of The Simpsons. Hilarious. Other than that, that's the show. You got any comments, Bitcoin?
None from me, but somebody just threw in something from Billy Carson. Their technology is 300 years ahead of us. I was just watching that movie his video the other day talking about that. So yeah, we're definitely we're just seeing the beginning, the tip and ice point.
Hey, shout out to Billy Carson. My bad again, dog. I'm not too big to apologize. Smash that like and share, and we will see you all tomorrow with some more crypto news. Cheers.